Hello, awesome people. I hope you're having a great day today. Today I'm taking a look at a short story that's in this publication called The New Lovecraft Circle, which I picked it up when I was in college and doing a deep dive into the Cthulhu Mythos. For Stokes, it's called The Statement of One John Gibson. It was published by Brian Lumley. It's the first of two short stories, and it's 17 pages long, and I read it probably a couple nights ago on Thursday Night Football while waiting for it. At about 50 minutes or so, which is a little bit longer than you would expect for a short story. This is short, but it took me a little bit longer. This is an oversized copy and such. I'll link you to this in the comments below in case you're interested in checking it out for you folks. It's in the Cthulhu Mythos. It's published in the Cthulhu Mythos collection and so forth. This is my first short story that I've ever reviewed by Brian Lumley for you, but I've actually read this short story and the other one in this collection now twice for you folks after I go back and read it again for this channel. As a reminder, I like to do my October dedicate to the Cthulhu Mythos, a collection of shared works in the horror genre that started in the late pulp eras and in the 20s and so forth with H.P. Lovecraft, and he began to use some things from story to story to show it was in the same world, like the Necronomicon, and then other writers would borrow some of his things, and he would borrow things from other writers and add it to the world, and so forth. And so it just sort of built organically back in the pulp era. The key short story that put it all together is called The Call of Cthulhu, that introduces the character of Cthulhu. That's where the title of the Cthulhu Mythos comes from. For our folks, so this short story then is set in this shared mythos. It's like I said earlier, it's in the horror genre, but some of these are actually sort of more like science fiction, like some of Lovecraft's things like The Colorless Space. It's actually a science fiction one. A meteorite from space lands on the Earth. And the base description of what's happening in this of people from outer space that are really, really evil and nasty landing on Earth also would definitely be more in the science fiction side of things. It also has some more fantasy elements, the stuff that copies from H.P. Lovecraft's Dreamlands, which are oftentimes set in the Cthulhu Mythos, and he was copying the dream cycle of works and such by Lord Dunsany in the middle period of Lovecraft's writing during his career. So there's a lot of short stories that are also being written in the Lovecraft vein, instead of doing the cosmic horror that he sort of introduced back then and popularized. Instead, just doing, or even the science fiction horror like Colorless Space that he did, or some stuff like The Shadow Out of Time that we've already gone back and reviewed for you. A lot of them would do, just the more fantasy stuff like that Dreamland stuff. But anyway, but this is definitely more in the horror genre side of things. So there we are. We'll go ahead and get started with this again. I knocked it out a couple nights ago, liked it, and so forth. As a reminder, my reviews are spoiler free, so I won't be doing a deep dive into this story for you folks. Instead, I will just be doing the first little bit. So also as a reminder, this story is clearly an homage to a story by Lovecraft called The Statement of Randolph Carter. So this is a statement of one John Gibson, right? So basically what's going to happen as the framing device for this short story is that we're going to be following the guy who's saying the statement. He's going to be saying it to a tape recorder, and then he's going to realize some stuff about things as a result of him talking out loud and going over facts and things and assumptions that always been made that he figured out were wrong. Then he's going to wind up going and finding out some stuff. So we're going to find out very early on that this is a collection of things he's exposed to some Cthulhu Mythos stuff. We'll find out very on that he is a typer on his father's side, although it's not his last name anymore. They changed their last name. And if you'll recall from the Cthulhu Mythos, there is a short story called The Diary of Alonzo Typer that is set in a Cthulhu Mythos that he wrote with another person, right? And that will be a key element. In fact, that sure will be a key element here in this short story too. So what am I giving this? It's fine. It's not the best short story in the world. It's not the worst. I enjoyed reading it. It was definitely well written by Lumley. But I'm probably just going to be giving this more like a 7 out of 10 for folks. So there you are. I'll go ahead and leave you to it. So this is it. This is Brian Lumley's The Statement of John Gibson. So what do you think about it? Have you read it? If so, let me know what you thought about in the comments. Did you agree or disagree with my 7 out of 10? Let's talk about it. As a reminder, this channel's name is The Worst Thing About New Books, which is a quote by Jacques Joubert, a French philosopher, who said that the worst thing about new books was that they kept us from reading the old ones. And so a short story that was written decades ago is definitely an older work. Sort of the passion that unlocks this channel. If you enjoyed this, why not hit that subscribe button? There's going to be a lot more to follow. And finally, I just want to thank you for taking some time out of your day and investing it in watching my video. We all have so many things that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me is incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.